Hey, what's but I have changed the gearing up somewhat. I have decided to go with a rare helm over Crown of the Inward Eye. Where is my Crown of the Inward Eye? Right here. This gives a lot of life mana and an energy shield, and gives a lot of damage because it scales 30% of maximum, increasing reductions to maximum energy shield, life, and mana as damage. So this was giving me like 10%, 15% more DPS, but I opted for a rare helmet so I could get life regeneration rate on it. And T1 life plus, I just rolled this with the pristine fossils. It took me like 15 pristine fossils, so like 30 chaos total to roll this. And the base was 1x, so 1x was 30 chaos for this. Is pretty cheap. T1 life, T4 flat regeneration. I think it rolls up to like 100, which is like half of like vitality. So like if you get T1 regenerate flat life, you're golden, man. That's like half of vitality. And then the big kicker here is 21% increased life regeneration rate, which once again in my first video is a more multiplier in your life regeneration rate, but it's not life recovery rate, which means it'll boost your life regeneration, which will also boost your life energy shield regeneration, which is great. And then I found there's an Eater of Worlds implicit for boots on the lesser one that is 7% increased life regeneration, so I rolled until I got that one. I think the exceptional one can roll up to 10%, but they're like a lot more expensive. And it's just the same amount of rolls to get it. And I just didn't think it was worth it for 3% extra life regeneration. But rolling the basic ones, the lesser ones, to get 7% life regeneration rate is definitely worth it. That's a big chunk of regeneration rate. And then I rolled an Exarch Ember and got 4% action speed, which is good. That's just 4% more movement speed, 4% more trap throwing speed, etc., etc. It just is a multiplier in your movement speed, action speed, attack speed, cast speed, everything. I did upgrade my rings to get a lot of chaos res and flat mana. So I was running into mana issues. I couldn't cast my Flame Dash or my Assassin's Mark. Once I got to like level 90, I don't actually need mana rolls in these anymore, but these just happen to come with mana rolls. I needed the res, the life, and the chaos res, the elemental res, the life, and the chaos res. And these just happen to both come with solid not percent, but flat mana on them, which is just a massive boon because I didn't have to take Righteous Decree temporarily, because I was going to take Righteous Decree temporarily. And then my next point, I'm going to re-pick up Sanctity, because that's just a lot of armor, a lot of energy shield regeneration, and then Strength and Intelligence, which is going to boost my Strength to 287, or my Intelligence, yeah, 287, so it's 287% increased global crit chance. And it's going to be like 2% more spell damage from Iron Will. So other changes, I've dropped Vampirism because it did the math. If I take like a 5,000 damage hit times 0.2 divided by 4, that's about 250 life regenerated per second, or life recoup per second if I take 5,000 damage. And I'm just not going to take 5,000 damage because when my flasks are up and I'm like level 94 with my endgame gear, I'm going to have like 55,000 armor. And then once I get to like level 98 or so, I'm probably going to do like Breachstone farming, Breachstone Rotas to get up there. Because I just don't want to level naturally to 98. But once I get up there, I'm going to have like 55,000 armor, 4 endurance charges. So my physical damage reduction is going to be unbelievably good. And then I have 80, 79, 79 Fire, Cold, Lightning res. And then aforementioned, I got extra Chaos res. And I'm probably still going to pick up Silvar, Kali, and Soul Shikari for extra Chaos stuff. Because Chaos is the only real thing that's going to kill me. Everything else is just almost impossible to kill me. Because most elemental stuff is attack or spells. Most elemental sources of damage are elemental. And I have 75% spell block. I don't have any attack block because I'm using Sapphire's Frame, so you cannot block attacks, but I don't really need that because I got good res and an absolutely ungodly amount of physical damage reduction. So the upgrades I made are better rings with Chaos Res. This one has 47 strength and energy shield on it. This one also has 44 energy shield on it, so that's just better, more energy shield for me. And the strength is good because that's, once again, 47% increased crit due to Righteous Providence. The lowest of strength or intelligence is 1% crit chance. So my crit chance I think is going to be like 60%, which is pretty solid, considering I'm not picking up pretty much any crit on the tree whatsoever. Just scaling it through Righteous Providence, essentially. And then I've been farming lab. I'm looking for either 120% crit if you haven't crit recently, which should be always because your traps don't crit for you, so that's always up. But best would probably be 2% life regen if you've been hit recently, because in PoB, if I have that enchant on my boots, and then matched with the life regeneration rate from the implicit, from the Eater of Worlds implicit, and then my rare helmet with life regeneration rate, I am up to 5.2 thousand net regen, which is just unbelievable. That's freaking crazy, especially because my effective hit pool is 123,000, and my max damage taken is 91,000. If you switch this over to spells, which are honestly more deadly than anything else, my effective hit pool goes up to 283,000, which is just ridiculous. And mind you, effective hit pool does not take into account life regeneration or recovery. It just doesn't take that into account in PoB. So my real effective hit pool is probably more like 1 million, because that's just the amount of hits, the amount of damage from hits you can take before dying. But I'm going to be regenerating. For example, if I take off Consecrated Ground, where's Consecrated Ground? My effective hit pool stays the same, but I go from 1,000 net regen to 5,000 net regen, and my effective hit pool stays the same. So this is more probably like triple that, maybe even quadruple that, due to my insane recovery. So that's basically the update so far. I'm not going to have a mapping showcase yet because I'm still leveling the character. I mean, I had a mapping showcase in my last 2 videos, but they were a bit slow. They'll speed up once I get a little bit more damage. I'm looking to swap out Brutality for an Empower 4, but I don't have the currency for that right now. I need to farm up a couple more X, because I spent like an X or 2 on each of these rings because they're really nice. And then I have 86, 90, 88, which is perfectly fine because even with an LE weakness map, since I have 75% reduced curse effect on me, it's not going to bring me under my max res. The only thing that's going to bring me under my max res is minus max maps. And that doesn't really matter even with RF up, because I have so much spell block, which is the main source of elemental damage in the game. And because I just have ridiculous amount of recovery, like I'm talking just insane. And that's not even taking into account Divine Shield, because me having 55,000 armor and 3 endurance charges, physical damage prevented from hits is going to be a lot. So against like a 10,000 damage hit, let's put a 10,000 damage hit here. Let's go physical damage, which is a really big hit. I still have 65% damage reduction. So if I take a 10,000 damage hit times 0.35, sorry, 1,000, 10,000 times 0.65, I am reducing it by 6,500, and then Divine Shield is 3% times 0.03. That is 195. Is regenerated as energy shield per second. Hits recently. So that's just 105 extra energy shield regen. It's good for 1 node. I wouldn't spec into Vampirism because Vampirism is like 200 and something. If I take 5,000 damage, but Divine Shield is just it's okay. If you're taking a lot of physical damage, it's okay. It's 1 node in the tree, and it's just extra recovery. It's only 1 node, so it's right along with my normal pathing. So, but eventually I'm going to get an Enduring Composure Jewel. And then I'm going to pick up an extra jewel slot here, 1, 2, 3, to get my actual Forbidden Flesh in there, because I'm running out of jewel slots, because I need one for my Doriani's Glorious Vanity. Need one for my Watcher's Eye. I need one for Forbidden Flame. And I need one for Forbidden Flesh. So that's 4 jewel slots that I need for stuff. And then 5 jewel slots here for the small cluster jewel, which also gives 45% increased armor, which is big. That brings me from 48 to 58, 6,000, pushing 57,000 with flasks up. No flasks. I'm at 41,000, which is still ridiculous. So, but yeah, my effective hit pool for spells is 283, and I can take a 91,000 average spell hit and not die. And I'm even Petrified Blood, so the amount of mitigation I have, the amount of recovery I have is just ridiculous. So, it's just obscene. So that's basically the update for now. Hope you guys have a good day, and peace out.